30% of men are not the father. 30% of men are not the father. What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching The Important Things That Really Matter. Today, we're talking about that 30% of men are not the father. Did you hear what I'm saying? 30% of men are not the father. That is something that is extremely disturbing. Why is it extremely disturbing that 30? Because 30% is almost 1/3 of the men in the United States. 30% is almost 1/3 of the men in the United States that are not the father of children that they think are their children. Okay? This is why it's extremely important for men to go get a DNA test before they sign that paperwork stating that they are the father. Don't sign anything until after you have a DNA test. And I would even get a DNA test that's outside the hospital that you're having a baby out of. I would go get a separate DNA test from another company that's very reliable and verify that the child's DNA is the same DNA as your DNA. There is a lot of fight, a lot of pushback right now from a lot of women. They don't want to have mandatory DNA. You know why they don't want to have mandatory DNA testing on any child that comes out of them? Because they don't want you to know that they were screwing around on you. Because now, today's society is encouraging women to go out there and have a hot girl summer. And right now you are getting so much pushback. They don't want mandatory DNA testing because they don't want you to know that a lot of women are screwing around on their husbands, screwing around on their boyfriends at the clubs, at the bars, at the lounges, wherever. That they're supposedly on a girls' night out, there's gonna be men at the girls' night out. And so if she happens to see somebody that she likes a whole lot, decides that she's gonna sleep with the person and don't tell you about it and happen to get pregnant by them, okay, she's just gonna make sure that you take care of the kid. She might not even know who the guy is. May not even be able to get in contact with the guy. That's why there's so much pushback right now. A lot of women do not want mandatory DNA testing because the DNA testing will show they're out there screwing around. 30%, there's 30% of men that are raising kids that are not their children, but they think that that child is their child. So, very sad situation, very sad situation. There was a female friend of mine, she's not a female friend of mine, there was a lady who I would call the church lady. She sat up here and told me that her niece told her that all of her niece's girlfriends have boyfriends, but they all have girlfriends too. And she was saying that all of her niece's girlfriends who have boyfriends, who also have girlfriends too that they're screwing around with, when they are going out on girls' night out, they're screwing around with those same women. They're screwing around with those women at the club, in the bathroom stalls. They're screwing around with each other. In public restrooms. They'll be at a club somewhere, and the woman will say, hey, let's go to the bathroom. And they'll go to the bathroom. And while they're going to the bathroom, they both go in the same stall. They're screwing around with each other in the same bathroom stall. No joke. And then they come back to the boyfriend that's at home or the husband that's at home, acting like nothing happened. Or if it's not that situation, the woman is sitting up here, finds a guy, and sits up and decides that she's gonna screw around with a guy that she met at the club, at the lounge, at the bar. She may come back pregnant by whoever she met at the bar, the lounge, or the club. Don't tell her boyfriend about it. She may be pregnant by one of the guys that she's met on girls' night out. This is another reason why you want to go get a DNA test, whether you're a young man or whether you're an older man. I just told you. And see, man, you have to be very, very careful who you're spending your time with. Because if that woman's out there believing that she can have a hot girl summer, she may go out there and get some type of transmitted disease and bring it back to you. If you don't believe me, I just told you that a church lady told me that her niece told her that every one of her girlfriends got boyfriends, but they also have girlfriends that they're screwing around with too. And they're screwing around with each other on girls' night out. So if that woman sits up here and gets a transmitted disease from one of these women or one of these other men, she's gonna come back and bring that disease back to the boyfriend or bring that disease back to the husband. If you don't think so, Houston, Texas. Houston had their health department had announced 42,000 cases of STDs, new cases of STDs in 1 week. 42,000 cases of STDs in 1 week, and that's in 1 week. We're not even gonna talk about Atlanta. Atlanta's HIV rate is so bad and so high, it's as bad as third world countries' rates of HIV. We're not even gonna talk about how bad it is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we for sure not gonna talk about how bad the STD rates is in New York. And we for sure not gonna talk about San Francisco. Basically, all major cities got a major problem with STDs being passed around with a whole lot of people. I think North Carolina had 15,000 new cases within the last 6 months. 15,000 new cases of STDs, I think, in North Carolina, and that was like within the last 6 months. So this will give you an indication of what's happening all over the United States. So if somebody's screwing around on you, they literally can put your life in danger. They can come back and bring you back HIV, bring you back herpes, bring you back bring you back AIDS. These are things that you need to take in consideration, in addition to getting a mandatory DNA test, because 30% of men are not the father. You got it? There was I think it was the Association of Blood Banks that said their figures were around 30%. Being more specific, it was something like 25 point something. Okay, but when you say 25, you just round, and you're supposed to just round up the numbers to 30%. But that's just one association, 30%. There's at least one or two other DNA testing centers. They came up with 30% of the men that came in for DNA testing were found to not be them, found not to be the fathers of their children. Go get a mandatory DNA test on all of your children. I don't care how long you've been raising them. I don't care how long you've been raising them. I don't care how long you've been raising them. Go get a DNA test on all of your children. All right, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. I guarantee you, if you subscribe, that you will have access to information that will save you thousands upon thousands of dollars and also save you a whole lot of pain and suffering. Stick around. This is a video series. I'm gonna probably do a 3-part series to the series. Okay, peace.